I made a big mistake when I first started getting to my full potential in the gym. What that mistake was is that I followed what was called a primal diet. And I realized now that I was tricked. I was tricked by influencers in the keto and carnivore space to believe that it's the primal diet to eat a high fat diet, to eat a fat and protein diet like carnivore or keto. And what I discovered recently is that actually what's truly primal is the complete opposite. So let me explain. If you were just tossed into the woods right now and you had to feed yourself, and let's say feed your family, what would you find? Well, you could hunt, right? So you could find meat, but what it would be is lean meat. The only high fat meat there is farmed meat. You'd be finding wild game, and wild game is low in fat, very low in fat. It's just basically pure protein. Other things you'd find would be fruit and vegetables, right? Let's say you find a bunch of berries, maybe you run into a cherry tree or a plum tree, right? So you have fruits and you have vegetables. You have carrots that are growing. You have many vegetables that are just naturally growing in the woods. And then you also would have potentially things like potatoes you could find, and maybe even rice. You could grow some rice. And but my point is, maybe that's a little unrealistic if you're actually just thrown into the woods. But if we were in a time where we didn't have farming, if we didn't have industrialized humanity where everything is just order it to your door and optimized in a way so that it's a consumerism, we would be eating a diet that is low in fat, high in protein, and high in carbohydrate. And what I realized is that this way of eating is actually the best way of eating for performance. For me as a strongman athlete, I need carbohydrates to perform. I need protein to recover and repair my muscles. And when you're just a general person and you're trying to lose weight and get lean for once in your life and stop being sluggish, you need to be able to lose weight. And you also need to be able to do that in a way where you don't feel like you're eating almost nothing every day and suffering so much, because that's why people fail. When it comes to this high carbohydrate, high protein diet, the amount of food is higher than in a high fat diet because 9 calories per gram for fat, 4 calories per gram for carbs, 4 calories per gram for protein. You want to be in a caloric deficit, but you don't want to suffer. You want to have a full belly, but still be in a caloric deficit. You have to eat only carbohydrates and protein and keep your fats really low. And that's how you lose weight. I've discovered that's the best way to lose weight, because you can lose weight and keep your performance high, keep your strength rising while you're losing weight. I'm attracted to these things called the primal diets because I believe that becoming the best version of yourself means going back to our primal selves, being able to be strong, functionally fit, like Strongman gives me, but also the way we eat should match that. And I've discovered that this is the way to eat, to be primal. Eat the way you would have to eat if you were out in the woods. Lean meats, lean proteins, carbohydrates, no added dietary fat. You wouldn't find eggs just laying around where you can eat 4 eggs in the morning. You wouldn't find oil and stuff to put on your pan to make your food taste better and cook better. You wouldn't have any of that. And that's where people are getting over calories in their daily calories, is from the dietary fat. And so if you remove the dietary fat and you keep it as low as possible, you can't remove it completely because you need it for your hormones. But if you lower it enough that you're in a caloric deficit, you can eat quite a bit of volume of food and still lose weight. So I invite you to give that a try. And if you need guidance on something like this, just reach out. I can help you and walk you through it on what to eat, when to eat, and how to do this way of eating to be the best version of yourself. That's it. That's all. Thanks.